husband leaving me, and my friends disowning me, and any of those things, I won't be afraid because I've dealt with that emotion. I'm no longer hooked into what anybody else feels about me. When I'm no longer hooked into what anybody else feels about me, I have the ability to discover many things. Just that one emotion gone from my soul, and I have now the ability to discover lots of things that I could not discover before then.
And when you add God's love into the equation, what then happens?
Well, the beauty of having God's love in the equation is in the previous example where I've disconnected, let's say, from how everybody else feels about me. I still feel alone, right? The beauty of having God in the equation is you never feel alone. And you always have someone to communicate with. And you always can receive communication from that person. So even when you are totally alone in a physical sense, you are never alone at all. And you don't even feel alone anymore. So you can be the only person on the planet doing something, being open to new information from different sources external to the planet. And because you are totally through this emotion of not worrying anymore, not feeling a response inside of you anymore to how people feel about you, you're now completely open to the discovery of the facts about that particular thing. And if you have a scientific approach, you now can discover the facts and prove the facts as you go along. And to me, that's the fastest way we can change. And so, I feel every discussion that begins with the secrets of the universe really needs to begin with the discovery of God. Of course, most people who ask questions about the secrets of the universe very rarely ask any questions about the discovery of God.
It's quite interesting.
Which is interesting.
Well, it leads on to the question in terms of what does God want to teach us? If we do discover God, what's the process? And what is it that God actually wants to teach us about the universe and about ourselves?
Well, firstly, the first thing God wants us to teach us is that we have the capacity as humans, because we are the pinnacle, the human soul, not the physical form or the spirit body form, but the human soul, which is an amalgamation of its two halves, is the pinnacle of God's creation. And as the pinnacle of God's creation, it has the ability to grow infinitely under one circumstance. And this circumstance is when it receives divine love into the soul. So if we want to do everything in complete disharmony with God, God has also given us the free will to do that. But the problem with doing that is that we will only grow to the point where we can be the maximum person we could be. In other words, we've only grown to the finite limitation of what the human soul was intentionally first created for. That's all we're grown to. We can't grow beyond that point. To grow beyond that point, we have to connect to God and receive divine love. Now, once we do that, God is saying to us, now, through this process of the reception of my love, God's love, now you, his child, has the ability to grow infinitely and to expand infinitely as a soul. Now, if you consider it, potentially we could become very similar in nature to God if we continue to do that. Like the more of divine love that infiltrates your soul, the more like God you become.
Does God want that from us?
Yes. When you say wanter, no, God's given it. His underlying purpose of creating us was to give us the gift of his love. Whether we choose to have that or not is up to us. So God's not saying to you must do this, Anto. What he is saying, though, is I have given you the gift of, I've created you to be the personality and character that you've become, and have the ability to grow and change from that personality and character. But if you choose to do it without me, without God, right? And I'm not saying I'm God there, I'm just saying I'm putting myself in God's position and having a discussion with Anto. So God's saying to Anto, if you choose to do that without me, then you will be able to become the most perfect being I created you to become on your own right, under your own steam, with your own exercise of your own desire. Now that being is the person that you will realise when you enter the sixth dimension of the spirit world, and which can also be entered here on earth. It's what I would call the perfection of the natural man. That's the degree to which you can expand. But then God's also saying to Anto, he's saying, Anto, I have this other gift, this gift of a personal relationship with me. And if you accept this gift means that you're going to have to open to truth completely, you're going to have to open to love completely, and you're going to have to be very, very humble, much more humble than you were on the other place, right? And if you open to this gift, I have the ability, through my love, to expand the creation of your soul that I originally created into a new creature. And this new creature is able to do many other things that this other creature can't ever do without my love entering it. And that's the offer that God's making. This is my offer to you, this gift of my love, and the transformational power that it has upon your soul is being offered to you. What do you want to do with it? What are you going to do with it? Are you going to accept the offer, or are you going to continue doing things on your own back, using under your own steam, with your own intellect involved, and develop to the perfection of what you could possibly develop?